Steph Curry is 36 years old, going to be 37 later this month, playing into his 16th NBA season, yet he's still breaking the NBA. Over his last 12 games, Steph is averaging 30 points, 6.6 assists, shooting 61% on twos, 41% on threes, and a 66 true shooting percentage. He's putting up numbers that should be impossible for a 6'3 guard at this stage of his career. And when you put it into more context, nobody has ever had a stretch this efficient while scoring at this level this late in their career. If you want to keep taking this for granted, you can go right ahead, because I'm not, because it isn't even just about the stats. It's exactly how he's doing this to still break the NBA in the mold he is. Because usually when superstars age gracefully in the NBA, they adapt their games in different ways. Most greats, as they get older, like LeBron James, as we're seeing this season, become more of a playmaker and post player. Michael Jordan turned into a mid-range assassin as his athleticism started to wane. But Steph Curry, he's not doing any of that. He's still playing exactly how he played in 2016, the best version of Steph we've ever seen. He still runs the most miles per game of any player in the NBA, and it's because of what he can do off the ball. Curry running off Buddy Hield's screen to go get another screener in Draymond. Mikal has to chase Steph for his life, because Steph, being the greatest shooter there is, even a small window of an open shot is doomed. It's funny when a defender gets laid flat on a screen like KCP did. They won't stop because they don't want Steph to shoot a wide open three at all. Some type of contest has to be there, and all it takes is one slight pump fake to have him spring off the floor and shoot the clean shot that Steph wanted. He's the greatest shooter we probably will ever see in our lifetime, while also being the greatest off-ball mover we'll ever see. A package like that isn't fair, and he still will take a lot of difficult shots. This recent shot against the Brooklyn Nets had me absolutely going crazy, because he's not even in line with the rim to shoot this shot. Just behind him, he has the ball, lines up, and still able to knock down this shot. Nobody in the world can hit this shot consistently. I lied, because Steph can. He's still the most efficient high volume shooter in NBA history. Think about this. Steph Curry is now back to 40% from three this season. If he finishes above that mark, it will be his 7th season shooting 40% on at least 10 attempts per game. There's only been one time that's ever happened in NBA history, and Steph just did it 7 times. Actually, let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7 times. The gap between him and whoever's the second best shooter in your opinion just continues to widen over and over and over when Steph Curry continuously put up nights like he does over this recent stretch of games. It's a really nasty Curry effect once he starts to get in rhythm. Once he starts to get in rhythm, that's when you see a lot of defenses go to their hellacious coverages to guard him. And with this hellacious coverages that Steph will get on a night-to-night basis, the way they guard him, we like to call this gravity. There's a reason the term gravity was invented for Steph Curry, because no player in NBA history warps defenses like him. I know in NBA history, getting double teamed, getting triple teamed is very common. Shaquille O'Neal, LeBron James in the past, Michael Jordan. Many great players got double teamed, triple teamed, got trapped in the pick and roll, but not like in the way Steph does. The moment he crosses half court, defenses panic. One step past the logo, you have to pick him up. And it's not just the shots he takes, it's about what his presence alone does to defenses. The moment he gives up the ball, it's a 4-on-3 advantage for the Warriors. Look how he's forcing Vucevic to play up on the screen as Ayo is recovering. It frees up that pocket pass like this to quit and post. Now he has the option to make an extra pass to Draymond Green or Gary Payton, but in this situation, he instead goes for the floater. Doesn't matter if he's blitzed, trap double or even a late double, he's still punishing defenses every single time. He brings up the ball in the fourth quarter against the 76ers, a close game. Draymond screens Grimes and the 76ers switch, and the threat of leaving Curry one-on-one with Paul George is that great that Grimes decides to double Curry, which is an easy jump pass to Draymond Green. Even in year 16, Steph Curry is still getting aggressive coverages like this on a night-to-night basis. Even if he's just standing out there, teams are going to be glued onto him, and that's just going to open up easy looks for everyone else. This is why the Warriors offense can still be elite even when Steph isn't scoring, because whether he's shooting or not, he dictates everything that the defense is going to do. And sometimes, even when teams do everything right, they're still going to lose because of those advantages they're going to constantly give up when you're having to guard Steph this way. Because at this point, he's seen everything. The double teams doesn't matter. Blitzing him is just the easiest way for him to get an open three for his teammates or cuts to the basket. Drop coverage is a complete death sentence. Switch heavy defenses, he can still cook you in isolation. Even though he's regressed with his speed, it doesn't matter, because what defenses try, he will continue to counter. And although he has regressed as a finisher as he's aged, he's still a very good finisher for his size. He finishes 62% at the rim. But here's the real kicker. Since Jimmy Butler's been on the team, in the 149 minutes him and Jimmy are on the floor, he's shooting 75% at the rim. That would be higher than even Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who is arguably the best guard finisher in the NBA. Curry's always been a crafty finisher. Look how he attacks going left, and he makes sure that his shoulder goes right to Anthony Black's chest to create that separation to draw an and one. There isn't an angle nor a high arcing layup that Steph Curry just can't do. And I do know and will acknowledge that a large part of his layups are because of the threat of his three-point shot, but when he does get the chance to attack defenders one-on-one and try to go to the basket, he has some of the most creative finishes I've ever seen from a guard. He's also one of the most fouled players I've ever seen from a guard. I don't understand it. I know Warriors fans understand where I'm going to come from if you guys are watching this video, but Steph Curry is one of the most fouled guards I've ever seen play. I know he doesn't attack the basket enough like a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to garner going to the free throw line at least 8, 9, or 10 times a game, but the amount of times he just gets fouled when he's trying to move off ball because players are trying to keep up with him, and the refs just swallow their whistle. They just swallow it because they don't want to give Steph Curry that foul. That's also been a huge component that's really helped this Warriors team since Jimmy Butler's been there. The free throw rate for this team has skyrocketed, not just for the entire team, but for Steph Curry as well. As I mentioned, when Steph and Jimmy are on the floor, Steph's finishing rates skyrocket. That also applies to his free throw shooting. He takes 3 whole more free throws and now attempts 7 in the minutes with Jimmy Butler. Look at this graphic, because this graphic is Steph Curry's entire career. In this graphic, it illustrates how many free throws Steph Curry attempts and what his averages are. And you can see when refs are actually going to give Steph those foul calls and when he draws more, look how many points he's scoring. It's crazy. And if arguably the most unguardable player alive doesn't have to do everything alone, it starts to stack up, because he's still the best shooter in NBA history. And if you're going to give him Jimmy Butler, we've seen Steph Curry, when he gets just that little bit of help, he can take you over the top. And if you guys enjoyed this video, I guarantee you'll love this video about Jimmy Butler. And this is me breaking down exactly why he can potentially guarantee the Golden State Warriors a championship. But before you leave and check that video out, like, subscribe, hit that post notification bell, and your boy Dream Hoops is out, man. Peace.